and she's going to be our Sealion trainer for today. So please give Ashley a big, big wave just to welcome her to the arena. Now, of course, we can't have a Sealion display without any sea lions. So Ashley, she's going to let out one of our Californian sea lions. And hopefully you guys have spotted as well, swimming about in the pool, we have 3 sea lion pups in there. They're just about 7 or 8 months old currently, and we are really proud of our breeding group of sea lions here at Blackpool Zoo. In fact, over the past 30 years, we've had about 40 pups born here at the zoo. And the pups, they're just left to themselves during the display, just to play around in the pool. And the pool with sea lion to the front here, she'll of course give you a lovely wave back. So the sea lion that we have here at the front, her name is Anya, and she is 12 years old. But Anya, she does get a little bit embarrassed when she sees lots of girls and boys watching her. But don't worry, because it's something you guys can do to help her out. So when you see her do this, please give her a big, big round of applause. It's a fantastic way for you guys to let her know she's doing a great job out there. She just absolutely loves applause. Now there is something else our Californian sea lion gets a little bit embarrassed about, and that is when people mistake her for a seal. Because she's not a seal, of course, she is a sea lion. But don't worry, because we're going to go through a few differences between a seal and a sea lion, just to make sure you guys don't get confused again, and our sea lion doesn't get embarrassed again. So the first difference, if you take a look at her head there, you guys can hopefully see a little flap of skin. And that is in fact her ear, a little bit like our own earlobe. Whereas if she was a seal, it'd just be a hole covered in fur, and it'd be quite difficult to spot. Now the next difference is a little bit easier to see. If you would take a look at Ashley's hands are about the size of a seal's flippers, whereas you can see there, Anya, she has much, much bigger flippers. And these flippers are really important for our sea lions, because of course they can ask for those cheeky rounds of applause, but most importantly, it's about how they move in the water and on land as well. So as you can see there, Anya, she's able to lift her body weight completely up off the ground. She can run, she can jump up as well and touch Ashley's hand there. And she could even climb a set of stairs if she wanted to, all whilst looking very graceful and elegant. That's all well and good though. We've seen how a sea lion moves across our beach, but Anya, how would a seal move? So just like that, a seal will be dragging its belly along the ground, not quite so graceful, not quite so elegant. In fact, a seal has little claws on the ends of its flippers that it uses to help drag its body along the ground, because a seal's flippers are just much too small to lift their big bodies up off the ground. I think Anya might want a big, big round of applause there for that fantastic impersonation there of the seal. So it is always up to our sea lions if they take part in the display or not. And during the displays, the other adults are just penned at the back of the beach, just off show, but you guys will be able to see them swimming out and about later on after the display has finished. And here at the zoo, we do something called positive reinforcement training. We also use something called a target stick. You can see that Ashley has that target stick in her hand. It's got that white handle to it and red end. And being naturally inquisitive animals, the sea lions will touch their noses to the end of that stick. Ashley will give a blow on her whistle and reward them with a fishy treat. Now that means the sea lion know that's the correct behaviour that Ashley is asking from them. And as you can see here, she's able to move the target stick all across the beach, and Anya will follow the end of that target stick. Now with sea lions, they can't tell the difference in between the two colours, but they can tell the difference in shades. And as the training progresses, the trainers are able to move on to just using their hands as targets or as signals, so they don't need to use the target stick at all later on in the training. Now this kind of training is most important for health checks. So Ashley's able to ask Anya to lie down there, so that means she can check her over for any lumps, bumps, scrapes or bruises, and she can even ask Anya to roll over as well. Now this means they can call the vet out to do an ultrascan to check to see if she was pregnant without having to restrain or tranquilise the sea lion, so no stress is caused and the welfare levels remain as high as possible. So how is Anya doing today, Ashley? She's in perfect health, fantastic stuff. I think Anya might want a big round of applause there for passing that health check. So here at the zoo as well, we want to encourage as many natural behaviours as we possibly can with our sea lions. So ordinarily out in the wild, they'll be swimming about in the ocean hunting for lots of fish. There's no fish in our pool, but we can best replicate it using some props. So first of all, we've got the hoops here, and using her forward-facing eyes and her binocular vision, she's able to move her long, powerful, flexible neck around there and catch those hoops perfectly, like that, just as if she was catching some fish. Even a bit of spin on it there at the end as well. But of course they would ordinarily be doing this out and about in the water, and we want to make sure this is as natural as possible for Anya here. So we're going to take the hoops down to the water, just to make sure she is using all those reflexes that she would ordinarily be using. So lots and lots of cheering as these hoops go out to Anya, if she manages to get them. There's the first, here comes the second, third, big cheer for this last one. There we go, got full set, well done Anya. So sea lions, they would be hunting over 50 different types of fish, and even things such as squid and octopus as well. But if it was dark, or if the water was murky, or if the sea lions were unable to see for a different whiskers. And we can best exercise these whiskers using that ball prop there. So because they are just so sensitive, and he's able to feel around the ball there with the whiskers pointed up to it and balance it perfectly on the end of her nose. Now this kind of training is really, really difficult. It can take months and months of training, or even up to a year, and some sea lions are not able to master it at all. As you can see there, Anya, she's an absolute pro at it. Now again, just like with the hoops, we want to make sure this is as natural and as stimulating as possible. So we're going to take the ball down to the water. This will just prove to you guys as well, it is the whiskers doing all the work there. Anya's going to locate that ball in the water using her whiskers, and using her eyesight to see where she's going. She's going to head up back to the beach here, and then back up to her stand, all whilst balancing that ball perfectly still on the end of her nose. And over to Ashley. She'd like to make a snack out of a sea lion if it was to come across one in the wild. And there is in fact another predator that would be after the sea lions. We're not going to tell you what that predator is though. Instead, let's let Anya do an impersonation of that predator. So focus on Anya down there in the water. Try and work out what other predator we think might be after sea lions. And after count of 3, I want us all to shout out what predator we think might be after the sea lions. After count of 3, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Shark!
Did you hear him there, Ashley? Ashley didn't hear you guys at all. So Anya certainly won't have heard you down in the water there. Girls and boys, make sure your grown-ups are joining in with you. We'll try that again. After the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Shark!
Well, that was better. That was a little bit better, but I think we can do much, much better than that. One last time, everyone joining in together. I want everyone all over the zoo to think we've got a shark in our pool. After the count of 3 then, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Shark!
Yep, I think we heard you that time. So, Anya, what would you do if you found a shark in your pool? Up onto the beach as quick as you can and find somewhere to hide. So the tiger shark, the bull shark, and even the great white shark would be after sea lions out and about in the wild. That's all well and good though, because beach swam to as quickly as they can and hide away. But if they were out in the open water in the wild, which they often are, and they come across a predator, bubble back fit there, creating lots of bubbles, lots of splashing around, lots of confusion, and hopefully swimming as fast as she can away from that predator. So sea lions are able to swim at speeds of about 20 miles per hour, and they can also do a behaviour called porpoising, where they dive up out of the water, skim the top and dive back in again, and it helps them to build up even more speed, hopefully escaping that predator or catching those fish. But it isn't just predators, unfortunately, that threaten not just sea lions, but many, many marine animals all around the world. And that other thing is plastic pollution. So Ashley, she's got that plastic water bottle there, and she's going to do something we should never ever do with our rubbish. She's going to throw it into our pool. But luckily for us, Anya, she knows exactly where we should be putting our rubbish, and that is just finding the nearest bin and popping it inside, just like that. A nice big sea lion hug there from Anya, just reinforcing that trainer sea lion bond, that very special bond that she treats there. If you guys want to put your hands in the air and give it a really big wave goodbye, Anya here will leave you with this really impressive front flipper stand here. Just to say goodbye to you guys and thank you for joining us here today in the Active Oceans Arena. This was a bit of a special display as well, guys, because in fact it was Ashley's last sea lion display here at the zoo before she moves on to other adventures. So if we can give her an extra special round of applause and big cheers. So thank you so much for Ashley as well, of course. We really do hope you guys enjoyed it, and of course enjoy the rest of your day here at Blackpool Zoo. Thank you very much, guys.